I know, and I'm sad for you, Christian, that you can't be outside. You have to be in here with us.
I will be. Don't you
He's
worry.
going to be out there, and I'm going to join him out there. That was so much fun yesterday.
Come on.
I didn't get in trouble for it, so I'm got to
Well,
try it again.
in that case, maybe I'll come with you.
Right. Hey, we're on Facebook. Did you know that? Bring your computer or your tablet or your phone outside and talk with us there.
Absolutely, and there is plenty to talk about today. Let's get right to it this afternoon. Governor Roy Cooper is easing several COVID-19 restrictions across the state. The new executive order will go into effect this Friday at 5 p.m. and the biggest changes involve bars. They can now serve people indoors at 30% capacity or a maximum 250 people allowed inside. Outdoor businesses can also operate at a 30% capacity, including outdoor sporting events. Indoor sporting venues with more than 5,000 seats exceed the 250-person limit, so they'll be capped at 15% capacity. Governor Cooper is also lifting the statewide stay-at-home order.
That means no more curfew starting Friday and more opportunities to gather, shop, and attend events if done safely. When it comes to easing some restrictions, we're depending on people to be responsible. The mandatory mask mandate will not change.
While the easing of restrictions is encouraging for our state, Dr. Mandy Cohen stressed North Carolina has a long way to go to end our fight against COVID-19.
We face a new challenge. Those new COVID-19 variants are a wild card. We know these variants are here in our state and are more contagious. So keep wearing a mask, waiting 6 feet apart, and washing your hands. We've seen in the past how fragile progress can be. So we need to keep protecting each other while we get everyone a spot to get their shot.
You know, we even have good news on the vaccine front these days. The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, tells us that Johnson & Johnson's single-dose vaccine is effective against the coronavirus. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm looking at the wrong script here. All right. As you can imagine, this would be a big day for sports, of course, in North Carolina. Yeah, I'd rather talk about sports anyway. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association released a statement saying in part that we ask citizens across our state to support their local high school teams by following the governor's and the DHHS's guidance, which continues to be designed to limit the spread of COVID-19. As we begin relaxing some restrictions on spectators, please diligently work together to keep these opportunities available. Now, the ACC also weighed in, saying that the ACC is evaluating what effect this may have on the upcoming ACC men's and women's basketball tournaments. Our top priority has and will continue to be the health and safety of our student athletes.
All right, let's take a quick look at some of the numbers that the governor used to make this decision. Hospitalizations first up, they are way down compared to where they were in January. Today, the number's at 1,530. It's nearly 2,500 fewer than our record high that we set last month. Our state's percent positive is also down. The latest number, 6%. That means 6% of tests have come back positive. That's good news considering the state's goal is 5%. Finally, the number of new daily cases. The state says it learned of about 3,300 new cases in the past 24 hours. Now you can see that it's higher than the past couple of days, but still relatively low considering we had days that exceeded 10,000 just last month.
All right, let's all have a deja vu. You might have heard this before. Even the vaccine front bringing us some good news. Now we can talk about Johnson & Johnson's single-dose vaccine. The FDA tells us it is effective against coronavirus. The new data pushes Johnson & Johnson's vaccine closer to being authorized for emergency use all around the country. The FDA found that vaccine is about 66% effective at preventing moderate to severe cases of COVID-19. If approved, that would be the third vaccine available in the United States.
Nearly a year into the pandemic, and there are still plenty of questions about the coronavirus, especially about the symptoms that come with it. How can you be certain if you have COVID-19 or just a minor cold or allergies? Our Verified team took a closer look and got some answers for you.
Pretty soon we're going to be leaving the cold and the snow behind as we enter warm weather and springtime. And for a lot of us,
That means allergies. But amid a COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people on social media are wondering how to tell the symptoms apart. So let's verify. How can we tell the difference between COVID-19 symptoms and allergies? Here are sources. Dr. Greg Poland, the director of the Mayo Vaccine Research Clinic, and Dr. Sarah Narayan, an allergist at Allergy West in Massachusetts.
It's a great question, and what I like about it is it's a really practical question that people are going to have to grapple with.
Let's look at the symptoms like this in a Venn diagram between those likely from allergies but not COVID, those likely with COVID but not allergies, and those that can pop up with both.
On the allergy side, we're listing sneezing, we're listing itchy, watery eyes.
Itchy eyes, itchy nose, those are not features of COVID.
On the COVID side, I would list the fever,
Shortness of breath, diarrhea, joint and muscle aches, loss of taste and smell.
those are all things that we rarely see with allergies.
And then in the middle, which could happen with either one, would be other mild symptoms that somebody might have, like fatigue or headache.
Can just feel yucky.
And if you're feeling those symptoms in the middle of the Venn diagram, our experts say you should start with allergy meds.
If taking allergy medication relieves your symptoms, that's highly unlikely to be COVID related.
And of course, if you want to be 100% sure, you could always just take a COVID test to make sure you're negative. Reporting with your Verify, this is Evan Kozloff.
All right, let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. First up, vaccinations for teachers and school staff started today. They're the first part of Group 3 to open. Other Group 3 categories like police, firefighters, and grocery store workers will be eligible on March 10th. The state says there are about 240,000 teachers and school staff in Group 3. Dr. Mandy Cohen says the state is now getting shipments of the vaccine that were delayed by winter weather last week. That means we will get 2 weeks worth of the vaccine in just 1 week. In total, the state is expecting to get about 363,000 vaccine doses this week alone. Some people have reported side effects after getting the second COVID-19 vaccination. Health experts say it means the shot is working. Scientists admit they're still unsure why the second dose causes more side effects than the first, but say it means your body is responding to the vaccine and helping to build immunity.
Well, police in California say that golf legend Tiger Woods is actually lucky to be alive after his rollover accident, which happened yesterday morning. That Woods is now recovering, by the way, from what they are saying of serious leg injuries. A statement that was posted to his Twitter page said doctors had to put a rod in his right tibia and use screws and pins to stabilize his ankle and his foot. Investigators say Woods was driving in a hilly area of Los Angeles suburb when his borrowed SUV crashed into a raised median, took out a sign, then crossed over the southbound lanes and traveled several hundred feet.
All right, weather-wise across the Triad, Maddie said it, we're all kind of looking like spring today on the 4 to 5, but I think it's warranted. Yes, we have lots of sunshine, beautiful Carolina blue skies, not even a cloud in the sky. You can notice those flags on our Burlington camera still blowing in the wind. It's been a windy day of weather yet again. Around 20 miles per hour winds have been gusting, but it's a warm wind and it feels good, so we don't really care about it, right? It's nice. Taking a look at temperatures, let's zoom into some of your neighborhoods. 69 over in Pleasant Gardens, 70 in downtown Greensboro, still sitting at 69 out at PTI, 69 over in K Vegas as well, 70 up in Rural Hall, 69 in Walkertown, and it's 71 in Winston-Salem. Of course, we have no clouds over our area right now, but notice this streak of clouds back to the west. That's another cold front that will be working its way toward us tonight and into tomorrow, but there's not going to be any moisture associated with it, so we mainly stay dry. Tonight, temperatures drop down into the mid-40s. Another nice day on the way for your Thursday. That front will cool us back off a bit. Still have wall-to-wall sunshine, but temperatures closer to 60 rather than closer to 70 like we were today. Dry for another day tomorrow, but we're watching our rain chances stack up as we go into the end of the week. We'll time it out for you coming up on your 4 to 5.
more than 100 years, Eagle Scout has been a goal only boys could achieve. But in 2017, when the Scouts began allowing girls, that all changed. Now the nation has its first class of female Eagle Scouts, and 4 of them are from a troop right here in Guilford County. I had the honor of meeting them today to see how they're feeling about it all.
My project was a blessing box free food pantry for Hope Chapel, a nature viewing platform on the Oak Ridge Mountains to Sea Trail.
I built a flag retirement fire pit and a donation box for my town.
My project was a mobile information kiosk for the Guilford Battleground Park.
4 projects complete. 4 new Eagle Scouts, among the first women to achieve the Scouts' highest honor. Alexandra Santiago, Selby Chipman, Holly Stewart, and Caroline Ruppel have worked toward the award for 2 years in their girls-only troop.
It makes me feel proud of myself and of the other girls with us right now. And it makes me feel proud of all of the girls in the country that were able to get this honor.
Nearly 1,000 young women across the country became part of the trailblazing group this week, the first class of Eagle Scouts since girls have been allowed into the organization.
For many of the people that disliked what we were doing, they still dislike it. They don't know what we're doing, and they don't like the fact that females are allowed to do this. And at some point, we just have to accept that and decide our own decisions.
Only 6% of Scouts make it to the top. It takes hours of work and merit badges. But to these 4 Eagle Scouts, it's more than an award.
It feels as though all of the girls who are actually able to accomplish this suddenly became part of this big group, or like very spread out family across the country.
Because we all worked really, really hard, and so it didn't really matter what we were doing. If even if we didn't know what we were doing, we could still complete it, because if we had the help that we needed and we tried at it, we could get it done.
So I am blown away by these young women. I was talking to them for a couple minutes this morning, and at the end of our interview, I just said, I'm so proud of you guys. And even though you are 10 years younger than me, you are such an inspiration. I mean, the naysayers that came out when girls were allowed to join the Scouts, and they had such positive attitudes about it and saying, you know, they just need to be educated about what we're doing, and they maybe didn't understand how this program worked. And now to become Eagle Scouts, that is a huge accomplishment.
And I saw last night on the CBS Evening News, Norma O'Donnell had interviewed similar girls who also were ranked Eagle Scout, and what I thought was so impressive was that some of them were saying how it has run in their family, Eagle Scouts, you know, great grandpa, grandpa, dad, and now daughter, and I just love that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and to be in the top 6% in anything that you do is highly impressive. Shout out to these 4 girls for being trailblazers and not being deterred by what anybody else has to say. They just followed their dreams and accomplished their goals.
It's interesting because everybody I've ever known that was an Eagle Scout, from my brother-in-law Johnny to people I met in college and later, they're all successful because later in life. It just seems like they have that discipline.
It's hours and hours of work to complete their project. Plus, you think about all the badges they have to earn before even starting their Eagle Scout project. It is truly an accomplishment, and I tell you, I cannot get over it. My hope for the future increased by at least 200% today after talking to these women.
I only made it to Cub Scout. I quit after that.
Okay.
So I
Me too, Chad.
You got me beat. I never signed the paper. It's fine.
It's okay. It's quite all right.
Right. We'll be right back. Talk to us on Facebook.
Please. We need friends.
How it's going, yeah.
Maddie does need friends.
You're not wrong, but that's mean.
I'm your friend.
You know, I was joking earlier. I said once we get above 65, everybody wants to know if the pool is open. And honestly, we've been so cold, these 60s feel quite warm to us. Take a look at the temperature map this afternoon. 69 in Greensboro right now, 71 in Winston-Salem, 70 in Asheboro, 71 in Lexington. Notice down to the south, we even have some low 70s in places like Troy and down in Montgomery County, Moore County, in those areas. And that's a simple answer because typically this time of the year, if we want warmth, it has to come from the south. And that's where our winds are blowing from this afternoon. Still gusty, blowing sustained anywhere 10 to 15 miles per hour, but those gusts are in the 20s. We'll have another warm day on the way tomorrow, but not quite as warm as we've had the last 2 days. This cold front sliding by. There's not going to be any moisture with it though, just a few clouds overnight. That will help drop our temperatures back heading into your Thursday. So tonight, partly cloudy skies, mid 40s. Tomorrow, upper 50s to near 60, but it's still a sunny day of weather. Your 7-day forecast, one more dry day tomorrow, and then unfortunately we're heading into another unsettled weather pattern with some rain starting to arrive by Friday evening, and then we'll have some scattered rain chances over the course of the weekend and over the next several days. Enjoy the sunshine while we've got it.
Well, you know, they are a world-renowned marketing agency and communications agency, too. They're based right here in Greensboro. We're talking about Pace Communication. They are simply one of the best globally, really. They are opening their skill set up to help some deserving local businesses reach a wider audience. And the best news is that they're doing this for free to help out some of these businesses. I caught up with Pace COO Leanne Klee to get the details of what they're calling the Pace Impact Project. Leanne, thanks for taking time out to do this today. So this is interesting. When did this project come up, and kind of talk to us about how it works?
Yeah, so Pace is a nationally woman-owned media agency, and we specialize in content and branded storytelling. And we've always given back. I mean, we tithe 15% of our earnings every year to charitable organizations. However, last year we started thinking we want to do more. What can we do? So we decided to expand our giving to include our time and talents. And we wanted to support our local businesses and especially those underserved entrepreneurs. So we wanted to help them grow their businesses through our social media talent.
So you handpicked the businesses that would be a part of this. What was kind of the criteria for that?
At the end of November, we had about 30 people who had, or 30 companies who had applied. And we went through and we really looked at, you know, are these businesses that social media can really help benefit them? And are these owned by underrepresented entrepreneurs? And we took those companies that we thought we could help the most, and therefore we partnered each of those, we selected 4 companies, and we partnered each of those companies with 4 different creative groups at our company.
So quickly, what will they get from you guys? How are you going to shape their future?
So our plan is to develop a social media calendar for this year. We will also work with them every month to create 2 to 3 social posts for their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram channels. And then later in the year, we will actually start training them to make sure they know how to do the best social media posts they can, and then to maintain their social media plan going forward.
This is great, and social media is so important to companies these days. Thank you, Leanne, for taking time with us this morning. So they do incredible work. I mean, they deal with clients like Interstate Batteries, AAA, Four Seasons Hotel, Facebook. I mean, they're world renowned and they're based right here. And this is a great free service they're offering that these companies would probably not have a chance to get. Most companies wouldn't have a chance to get in on this. It's a great project.
And when you think about how important social media was for marketing and business even before the pandemic, it is much more important now because that's how people are connecting and staying in touch with everyone, and seeing these advertisements and seeing these posts can make or break a company.
I would imagine that for these 4 businesses chosen, it's like winning the small business lottery, you know, because sometimes if you're starting in the small business world, you might be kind of unsure how to get your business off the ground, and so to have that help and to have that backing certainly makes you feel more confident in starting a small business and then growing it over time.
And I didn't know
they
that
will learn
Pace
from the best.
Was led by women. I learned that today.
It is. Yep, it is.
Very cool.
Bonnie McElveen Hunter is the president. She started that firm years ago, and it is a woman-owned business.
All right, very cool stuff, Chilton. Thanks. Chilton's on Facebook.
Is he?
Yeah.
You're on Facebook,
Sometimes
Chilton?
I make it.
Are you on Facebook?
I am right now.
I haven't said anything yet.
Are
but I'm
you
gonna
on
go say
Facebook?
something right now.
You up there?
Hello.
I'm on it.
Hi, Facebook. We know you are.
You're good, Chilton. Talk
I'm
to
going
the
to say
people.
something.
Yeah, it's my block. Mic check. Okay. All right, I'm getting Dylan in now. Looks like his video's coming in, so we'll let that get in, and then we'll do a mic check for him. Gotcha. Thanks for reminding me. Your audio. That's good. Okay. Let me try something else. I don't see his video coming in. Yeah, TX1. Yep, TX1. See if we can get him here. I'm gonna try to call him again. Video starting, that's good. All right, make a switch. Yeah, make a switch. I'll keep working.
It's a bird, it's a plane. Nope, it's UNCG's Isaiah Miller. Welcome to his pregame routine, full of dunks, the spin, the reverse, the one-handed slam.
Those type of dunks, that's really what get me warmed up for the thing. That's like when I just go all out and just put in the show.
The senior guard says he started this routine last year.
It was just a thing, like when we first go out and do two-line layups and stuff like that. It was always a thing because it always got me going. It always got my legs getting warmed up and stuff like that. See how I'm feeling. That's something that just came about.
Except this season.
I think my bounce got a little crazy this year. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, we don't got fans, but it usually be for the fans to be like the oohs and the ahs, see everybody, make sure everybody know that I'm just not a small dude. I really got bounce, like the rumors are true.
The Spartans have their final home game tonight. Now, we won't get to see Miller's pregame dunks live in person, but we hope our video gets you excited to cheer on UNCG from home.
That's a good hype video right there. Sometimes just watching the pregame warm-ups can be more exciting than the actual games because, you're uncontested, right?
It's just kind of awkward because I saw a couple of them stealing my moves.
Which move was that?
All of them. The
Can
dunks.
you show us one of them?
Yeah, except there's not a hoop in here, and I don't have on the right shoes, or
Okay,
I would.
here. Pretend that this is the hoop right here.
I've gotten myself into trouble.
Here it is. I'm the backboard.
I can't actually get that close to you because we have to stay 10 feet apart, or I would
You're right.
totally show off
You're right.
my 6 skills.
I have no 6 skills, and I lose every game of Pig I play. pig, or what's that, horse. I lose them all. But I appreciate when other people can do well at these sports. You know, I love watching basketball players dunk.
We actually have a basketball hoop in the back parking lot of WFMY News 2, and a couple of our coworkers get out there and play during their breaks.
Well, they used to back in the day, not during pandemic time, or maybe they do. Okay, they're probably okay. Anyway, UNCG, awesome.
Yeah, and it's a nice day to get outside and play basketball.
Absolutely.
So
Go out
maybe
there.
we should do that.
Do it.
After
bring your
the
phone
show
with. Yeah,
ends.
bring your.
Yeah, or stream us on Facebook.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination.
Hey, mic check 1 2. I put new batteries in because it was low, but it wasn't out. So I don't know what happened. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to your 4 to 5. We've got the back 30 lined up for you right now. I'm Eric Chilton. Jalen's here, Kristen's here, Maddie, Chad, and now I have new batteries in my microphone, so now I'm...
You are here both in sight and in sound, and we are glad to have you back, Chilton. And you mentioned the back 30. I played golf this past weekend. It was absolutely freezing, but I did improve on the back 9. I wish I would have played golf today because the weather was a lot nicer than it was on Saturday.
Right, it almost kind of feels like it's Friday. At least it would feel great if today was actually Friday because the weather's so beautiful.
Let's just make it Friday.
Okay.
We decree.
I like it.
The weekend has begun, at least in our minds.
I like it.
We are having pretty much a weekend fun time on Facebook in the chat section.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And while you're chatting with us on there, you got to hear some good news that we've heard about Tiger Woods today. We've learned he's awake and responsive after suffering severe leg injuries in a car crash yesterday morning. An update on his Twitter page said doctors put a rod in his right tibia and used screws and pins to stabilize his ankle and foot. Doctors say it could take 6 months for Woods to heal from his injuries. Woods was already recovering from a 5th back surgery and was hoping to play in the Masters in April, but is now facing even more challenges as support pours in from all over.
Life first, hey, golf is second, and then competitive golf is possibly a long way down the line. All we can do is pray for him and hope that he finds a way to rebuild himself.
Investigators now say Wood's seatbelt likely saved his life. How and why he lost control of the vehicle is still under investigation.
Let's turn now to your headlines in the 4 to 5 roundup. Governor Roy Cooper is easing several COVID-19 restrictions across the state, including reopening indoor bar seating at 30% capacity with a 250-person limit. Outdoor businesses, including sporting venues, can also reopen at a 30% capacity. Governor Cooper is lifting the stay-at-home order statewide, meaning that 9 p.m. curfew is no longer in effect. Alcohol sales will still be cut off at 11 p.m. and the mask mandate is in effect. The next executive order will start this Friday at 5 p.m. The Federal Trade Commission tells us Americans have lost more than $300 million in stimulus scams in the last year. But one cyber expert points out that that number is only a guess and the real number could actually be 10 times higher, with $3 billion lost in scams. The FTC says scammers are using your known public information to make it seem like they're a legitimate government agency. They'll even offer to help you deposit your stimulus check, only to end up stealing your money. Federal documents show a training camp in North Carolina was used to train militia members who were part of the Capitol attack on January 6th. The documents do not go into detail about where that camp is located, but said a group called Oath Keepers was in charge of it. One woman from the TRIAD, Laura Still of Thomasville, traveled with the Oath Keepers to the Capitol on the day of the attack. So far, 5 people from North Carolina have been charged for their participation in the attack.
All right, weather-wise across the Triad today, I decided to blend in with the sky. That's why I'm wearing the blue suit. Ton of blue sky all across the Piedmont. You're taking a live look right now over Wake Forest University, and a very comfortable day of weather too, sitting in the upper 60s right now in most of the Triad, even some low 70s in places like Winston-Salem and Burlington. But notice down to our south, places like Asheboro, Albemarle, Troy, even over in Pinehurst, they're into the low 70s, and it's easier to warm up this time of the year, of course, when we have a southerly wind, and that's what we have going on right now. Southwesterly winds still blowing pretty stiffly, anywhere 15 to 20 miles per hour sustained. We have some 20-mile-per-hour gusts across the Piedmont right now. We do have a dry cold front that will start to work its way across the Piedmont heading into your Thursday, and what I mean by that is there's not really any moisture associated with it. The only thing it's really going to do is help us drop our temperatures back. Instead of being close to 70, we'll be closer to 60 heading into your Thursday afternoon. So tonight, not actually a very cold night. We'll have partly cloudy skies, temperatures dropping down into the mid-40s, and for your Thursday, upper 50s, close to 60, another day with plentiful sunshine for your Thursday afternoon. Now notice, as we go in towards the end of the week, we're going to have a couple more systems heading into a more wet weather pattern, with rain starting to arrive by Friday evening, and then we'll have some scattered rain lasting as we go throughout the weekend and, yes, into next week. So while we're heading back into another unsettled weather pattern, just take advantage of another sunny day that we have tomorrow.
It is 2 Wants to Know game show time. Here we go. You got door number 1, file your taxes now. Door number 2, file your taxes later. Which door could mean the difference between more or less stimulus money?
Well, obviously, I want the door with the most money.
Of course, right.
So how about a hint?
How about a hint? Okay. How about I do that, not just for you, but for all of you out there, right? Some people are calling it gaming the system. The third stimulus payment will be based on either your 2019 or 2020 tax return. If your 2020 tax return isn't filed and processed by the time the stimulus payments go out, probably by mid to late March, you'll get a stimulus payment based on your 2019 taxes. Here's the thing. 2019 might have been a good year, but 2020, you lost your job, maybe your hours were decreased, less income. Due to the loss of income in 2020, you might qualify for more stimulus money, but only if you file your 2020 taxes before the next payments begin. Now, why would you get more stimulus money? Well, because the stimulus phases out the more money you make. For example, in stimulus number 1, you got the full $1,200 if you made up to $75,000. But you can see the more money you made, the less stimulus payment you got. If you made significantly less money last year, it is worth you filing your taxes now to get the choice of a bigger payment before stimulus number 3 rolls out. Hey, coming up at 5:30, we have 3 experts coming in talking stimulus and taxes. What questions do you need answered? You can text them to us, 336-379-5775.
Whoop. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's the baby eagle talking to the.
Recently, we have seen some unique collaborations to get people vaccinated. Well, now Novant Health is teaming up with Winston-Salem State to immunize eligible people on campus. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey learned more about their pop-up vaccination site.
We want to make it easy for folks and not a challenge.
And that's exactly what Winston-Salem State University is doing for its community.
We are partnering today with Novant Health to be able to provide this site and this opportunity for folks to get vaccinated.
Dr. Elwood Robinson is the chancellor at Winston-Salem State. He's excited to partner his university and Novant Health to help better serve the community of Winston-Salem.
Partnerships that we have with the Novant Health is extremely important to be able to deliver and create spaces where folks can go and get their vaccine.
Folks were so excited to receive their first dose of the vaccine that all the appointments for the day were booked up.
We had a full schedule of 500.
Laura Holby is the Director of Community Engagement for Novant Health. She knew partnering with Winston-Salem State was a no-brainer.
Not only who they are, but where they're located within Winston-Salem is also a really key part of why we chose them, just to make sure that we're providing access points for those who need access the most.
Well, today marked the first Novant Health vaccine clinic at Winston-Salem State University, but it won't be the last. The goal is to have another vaccination clinic in the next 2 weeks so they can administer that second dose. And I absolutely love to see these partnerships taking place. It's so important to make sure that these vaccines are readily available to everyone on all sides of town, no matter the median income.
I think it's important that they have different groups reaching out to different communities, because I mean, yeah, you can have a vaccination site at the Greensboro Coliseum, but not everybody can make it there. Not everybody has a ride. Not everybody can leave work. Perfect example, people who are teachers at Winston-Salem State. I mean, you might not have the opportunity to get somewhere during a class day, and so I think this helps.
Right, and I've talked to Novant Health and that health system a couple of times throughout the pandemic, especially since the vaccinations have gone out, and they are making it a point, as are other health systems, to have these community events because there is public distrust of this vaccine. Some people are just simply not ready to get it. But if you go to churches and you go to schools and you go to places that they're familiar with and you see other members of your community getting vaccinated, it might help encourage others to do the same.
Yeah, it would increase that confidence. I think the more we can do this type of thing, the better. Plus, now that we talked earlier in the show about other vaccines starting to get the thumbs up, I mean, that's just going to be more of these vaccines. So we'll need more of these pop-up clinics.
Right, especially with Johnson & Johnson. If they do get that emergency use authorization, it's only one dose. So
single dose,
you don't have to set aside 2 shots for each person, and hopefully we can get more people vaccinated quicker.
And I think at the beginning it was a little bit touch and go with vaccines because there was such a limited amount of them. But now that we're getting more more and more, I mean, it's much easier to divvy out vaccines to, to this group and that group, helping in the outreach. And hopefully we can just get people vaccinated as quickly as possible.
All I know is the faster we can get these vaccines out, the faster I can get to Turks and Caicos. Got to go.
Are you going to bring us there?
No.
4 to 5, live from Turks and
I'm
Caicos.
coming.
We've all been vaccinated, and we're going down.
I'll still be in the Facebook chat, I'll tell you that.
Are you gonna turn your camera on?
Maybe. It depends on what part of the day it is.
Right. I mean, you don't want the sun coming from behind you. You know, you got to have the sun in front of you.
The good lighting is important. That's what you meant.
It is crucial.
That's
got to make sure my lighting's right.
Yeah, I know.
We know.
Turks and Caicos. We're headed there.
We're going.
Let's
Chilton,
go.
you down? You
I'm in. Eric's paying for everybody.
Oh, definitely in then. Definitely.
Hey there, Facebook. How you doing? Hope you're well today. Hopefully you're watching outside, right? It's easy to bring your tablet, your phone, your laptop. I don't know about a PC, but if you can, maybe just open the window.
If you bring your desktop outside,
right.
You're better than
Sorry, they're talking to us right now. So they're telling us what's going to happen in this next, what we call a block here. And in case you're wondering, I've got the Southern style barbecue, smoky and spicy Harvest crisps today. Maddie's mic is not up. But knowing the way she projects,
there we go.
There it is.
Knowing the way she projects, that is a nice way of saying Maddie is loud.
Yeah, but like loud in a good way.
Thank you. I actually, the suit, you want an outfit review?
It's not working. I don't think it's working.
I think everyone looks very nice
We
today.
almost kind of match the color on this camera.
Orange and blue. The pants and the jacket aren't matchy-matchy, but they complement each other.
Yeah, it's the gray, touch of gray, you know?
50 Shades of.
Not really my
Touch of gray.
Touch of
Isn't
gray.
that like the
It's
hair product?
A men's hair care line. No, I was talking to Chad earlier because I went to the grocery store and they had a full display of his snacks.
My snacks.
They had flavors that I haven't seen him have before, but Chad is a snack man. Chad is the person you want to get stuck with for hours because he's prepared.
Like in an elevator when the power goes out.
Yes, and you see all I have is hairspray, so I can't really do anything.
You can't do anything.
Can't eat hairspray.
Unless there's a burglar and you just spray hairspray in their eyes or something.
That person's eye.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I'm having a great day because of the weather. It makes my mood better.
And I honestly feel like today feels like a Friday. Just because everybody's happy, because the weather is warm.
I hope that it makes the rest of the week go by. 15 seconds.
Well, animal lovers, listen up. We have found a 100-acre sanctuary. You have to see this. You need to know about it. It has hundreds of animals, literally. It's a giant place where you can socially distance naturally. It's right here in the Triad. Take a look at Liberty Acres. Well, Allison, no one's going to hear a word you say because you have that cute little creature with you right there. Hey, let's talk about Liberty Acres real quick. How did this all come about?
Been out here in Liberty for about 15 years on the farm and started with some chickens, and it gradually led to peafowl and pheasants, focusing mainly on endangered species. That's grown a bit now, though a lot of them are rare and endangered. But we now have 4 species of the rat-type family: the ostrich, emu, rhea, cassowary, and everything from lemurs and kangaroos, camels, zebras,
You have to introduce us to your friend. Who is that?
This is Riley. He is about a year old, a little red kangaroo, and he just kind of hops around in the house and hangs out in his bag. And as he gets a little older, he'll be going back outside to join the others. He's feeding my hair right now.
So you guys are open for business. How do we do this safely? How are you doing social distancing?
Well, we are a 100-acre farm, and everything is very spread out. And it's very easy to social distance and stay just with your friend or your family. At check-in, we wear masks and ask everybody else to as well.
It's great. It's like it's naturally social distance. Now, where do you see this going in the future? Because you have a lot of animals right now.
Well, we just opened. We opened for a few months in the fall. We delayed it because of COVID. And, once COVID is over, we hope to do more with the school systems, more parties, maybe even taking the animals to the school. But all that will be post-COVID.
Well, I love it. I can't wait. I know my kids are going to absolutely love this. So can't wait to see you down there. Thank you. I told Allison when she first popped up with that little kangaroo, I said, I'm so glad my 8-year-old daughter is not here, because nobody can hardly listen to her, because that's the cutest thing ever. That place is really special, and I can't believe I didn't find out about this until about a week ago.
Drew would be asking you for a kangaroo.
Yes,
after
a little
seeing
Joey.
that one. And
yes.
The kangaroo was adorable. It was giving her kisses the entire interview.
Eating
That's all
her hair.
honestly, Chilton, I tried to pay attention, but I was very distracted by the animal.
I'm with you.
I think that's the point of the story.
Right. And some people will be like, oh, now I want a baby kangaroo. Well, guess what? That kangaroo is going to grow, and it's going to be big, right? It's not going to be a Joey forever. Someday it's going to turn into Joe, and Joe's going to be the size of you.
And then they'll box you.
You get to boxing.
Right.
Have y'all seen those videos of the kangaroos just knocking people out? Like, I love those videos. That scares me. I'm actually terrified of kangaroos.
I think this has went the wrong direction.
Yes. I agree.
Chad threw it out there. I just followed up.
Sorry.
It's like when we do the PSAs around Christmas time, animals aren't a gift. They're a family member. You adopt them forever. Is this what you're saying?
There is a responsibility, yes.
When you adopt a kangaroo.
Because I'm not sure who you can give it up to. If you how some people surrender pets to the animal shelter because they realize they can't have them anymore. They can't be responsible. Who do you give a kangaroo to?
That you go to Liberty Acres.
I'm about to say you call Liberty Acres and you drop them off there.
That's right.
But I
think like this back? It's full grown now.
We just need to circle back and focus on the important work that they are doing at Liberty Acres, and excited, like Chilton said, to get out there and see all the animals.
I'm sorry that I took this turn, guys.
I
apologize. Liberty Acres.
That is literally in my contract. When Chad goes off the rails, Maddie brings it back.
Wait, you have a contract?
That's why I stay home. I'm safe.
I have a Chad-specific contract. Things I agreed to when we welcomed you on the show.
I like having the three guys back here lined up, all in a
I think we look sharp.
formation.
You're the fourth,
Chad. You're why I stay home,
Hey,
my friend. I'm safe here.
You can get back there. I'll step to the center and spotlight.
And I'll come over here. How about that? Well, no, I'm on
Oh,
the
wait.
shot.
I was going to say, don't block me out now.
Just
let's
how
talk
I like
about
it.
Maddie's front and center.
All right, Christian.
All right, let's talk about the weather. You can play with a nice baby kangaroo outside today in the beautiful sunshine that we do have. Of course, these warm and sunny days, they don't last forever. They're getting a little easier to come by those. We go towards the end of February and into March, but yes, we will still have some cold days and we still have some rainy days to go. Take a look at this though, 72 degrees back on November 21st of 2020. Today is the warmest day since then. We've gotten up to 69 so far. We'll see how this plays out when we get our climate report in this evening. And yesterday was 64, so we're about 5 degrees warmer than we were yesterday. Yes, it kind of feels like spring. It's a little tease, isn't it? Take a look at our numbers right now. 69 in Greensboro, 71 in Winston-Salem, 70 Lexington, 70 in Asheboro, and notice a little further down to the south. We got a 73 down in Troy. Notice we are all clear in our part of the country, but notice this string of clouds back to the west. That's a cold front, but all it's going to be able to do is really tap in to some clouds and make for some partly cloudy skies overnight. There's not going to be a whole lot of moisture with it, so we mainly stay dry. It only really just works to drop our temperatures back into the upper 50s going into your Thursday. And I know 50s compared to the close to 70 we've had today. That'll feel a little bit cooler. High pressure stays in control of our weather though through tomorrow. As it pulls away, we're going to have this stationary front down to our south. And you know, ever so often, as we've talked about this, we get those stationary fronts and that creates scattered rain for several days. That will be the story going towards the end of the week. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, temperatures dropping down into the mid-40s for your Thursday. It's a nice sunny day. A little bit cooler though, upper 50s to near 60, but wall-to-wall sunshine. Now, we will stay dry through tomorrow, but heading into Friday, the clouds start to increase, and by Friday evening, we'll have some scattered rain moving in. I don't think the weekend is going to be a washout, but there will be some scattered showers on and off as we go through Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And yes, there are rain chances in as we go into early next week. I know. Enjoy the nice sunny days while we have it, because it looks like we will head towards another unsettled weather pattern with some rain chances for the next 6 of the next 7 days. Enjoy this evening and tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Now it's time for my mic check. See, Jalen? Jalen's trying to...
Hello. Hi there. 1, 2.
Hey there, Hawaii, Idaho.
Hi there. 1, 2, 3.
Hi, mic check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. 1, 2.
You know, I hear it a lot lately. People go, I can't wait till we can go back to being normal again. Well, let's think about that. There are some things, believe it or not, that I hope we don't go back to doing that was pre-COVID. Some things, some good realizations that have come out of all of this and the pandemic. I found a website, and I've never heard of it before. It was called the Hopeful Institute, and they had an article about this very topic. Some of their points, I think, are so true. Think about this. Complaining. How many times have you caught yourself complaining a year ago or 2 years ago? Going to school every day, or sports practices, or family gatherings. Well, you probably miss a lot of that now, don't you? Don't complain about things until you realize how valuable they are when they're not there. Entitlement. We've all been spoiled, especially those of us in the United States that grew up in a pretty good country. You know, bad things can happen to good people. We need to remember that. Don't forget it. Don't take it for granted. Celebrate your gifts that are given to you. And family time. So before, we did not get this much time with our kids, especially if you're doing remote learning and now you're home too, working remotely, you're together more. Now I understand what I missed a lot of when I couldn't be there with my kids. Family time now is very big, and hopefully we'll take that into the future. It reminds me of, there was a quote also in this article, but Maya Angelou said it, and she said, if you're always trying to be normal, you'll never know how amazing you truly can be. I hope in some ways we don't go back to what we think is normal. I think we take lessons and create a new normal. But that's just my 2 cents. And that's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
Today I'm announcing that we will ease but not lift restrictions in several areas with the new executive order that will go into effect this Friday, February the 26th.
Let's repeat that. Governor Roy Cooper announces he is easing some of the state's COVID-19 restrictions. That includes lifting the modified stay-at-home order, meaning the end of the curfew, and bars can open indoors with limits.
The governor says the decision is based on better COVID-19 numbers and vaccine distribution. Governor Cooper says while some restrictions are easing up, now is not the time to be complacent.
WFMY News 2's Marissa Tansino joins us live now in Greensboro, breaking down the details of this new executive order.
Well, Julie, Maddie, while that stay-at-home order is the only restriction being fully lifted, starting Friday, some bars and movie theaters will be able to open the inside of their business for the first time since the start of the pandemic. Starting Friday at 5, restrictions for several businesses ease up. Restaurants, breweries, retail stores, and gyms will be able to expand to 50% capacity. Outdoor businesses like bars, sports fields, and amusement parks operating at 30% capacity will no longer have a 100-person limit. And indoor bars, amusement parks, movie theaters, and sports arenas can open at 30% capacity with a cap of 250 people. The alcohol curfew will also be extended to 11 p.m. And Governor Roy Cooper says while we're seeing trends stabilize, this isn't an excuse to become lax.
We are still far from the end of this pandemic, especially with the vaccine in short supply. Millions that still need to be vaccinated and new variants in the mix. That means we have to keep doing the things we know work.
Now, the governor says doing things like not following the science and the data and not wearing masks and social distancing could put the state in a backslide, which is not what we want. He says they're going to continue to meet with health leaders and monitor the trends.
Marissa, thank you. Larger indoor arenas that seat more than 5,000 people, like the Greensboro Coliseum, can allow a 15% capacity. Previously, the ACC announced no fans will be allowed in the stands at next month's ACC men's and women's basketball tournaments. Today, the ACC said it is now evaluating the situation after the governor made his announcement. We will keep you posted. Under the new executive order, more people will be allowed to sit in the stands at smaller indoor and outdoor sporting events. WFMY News 2's Jess Winters spoke with a Guilford County Schools athletic director about the upcoming changes.
Governor Cooper's latest announcement, welcome news for GCS high school athletics.
Yeah, I know people are really excited about that, and I know as a staff, we'd be excited as well.
Governor Cooper allowing more fans in the stands. Outdoor venues can go up to 30% capacity starting Friday. Indoor sports like basketball can have fans at 15% capacity. Before, it was more of a head count, 25 people indoors and 100 people at outdoor games. Here's Page High Athletic Director Matt Harder.
What we've done at Page, we've tried to accommodate our parents first, especially our seniors, to make sure that parents can get in and see them. But we have had to turn people away, unfortunately.
Now he says not only parents, more students will be able to attend games and really get the high school experience. But Harder says they need a little time to prepare for the influx.
We'd have to adjust our ticket software and how many we would have available now. We'd also have to make sure we're appropriately socially distancing. We're still doing screen checks for everybody that does enter a facility.
Bar owners also reacting to the capacity changes. I spoke to some who say this is a small step in the right direction, not a huge milestone. That's coming up at 6.
Just thank you. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association also responded to the governor's news today. Commissioner Q. Tucker said in part, "This has been a difficult year, and we know that the limitations have had particularly harsh effects on student athletes and their families. We are ready to allow some sense of normalcy for these groups and thankful that we have reached this point as a state. However, we want to do our part to make sure that this step forward does not lead to a step backwards." Wake Forest University students will be first priority for tickets for sporting events under the new state rules. The first student ticket lottery opened just a few minutes ago for this weekend's home baseball game against Notre Dame.
It is vaccination day for the first teachers and school staff members across the state, some of them right here in the TRIAD, and thousands more will get their vaccines in the coming days. WFMY News 2's Grace Holland shows you what it was like for one of the first teachers to get a shot.
Can you say over the top excited?
A big thumbs up moments after getting her first dose.
To be on the forefront of taking this vaccine and just really as a witness to everyone else that this is an option for us as teachers.
Yolanda Greer is an art teacher at The Point College Prep and Leadership Academy in Jamestown. She and other teachers were among people vaccinated at Winston-Salem State University through Novant Health.
The overwhelming sentiment, people seem really, really excited. You can tell they've been waiting for it.
Bigger pushes to vaccinate teachers begin Thursday in both Forsyth and Guilford counties.
We're getting ready for those clinics coming up in the next few days.
The teachers primarily are going to be private schools tomorrow and Friday from 3 to 6 p.m.
Forsyth County will vaccinate 1,500 school staff from Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools Saturday. 3,000 Guilford County Schools employees will be vaccinated Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
I'm just excited about what this day means for those in education.
Greer wants her fellow teachers to know the shot did not hurt, and she thinks it will make a big difference for the return to the classroom.
But I want to encourage people not to operate in fear. I am very, very hopeful about what this means for our community.
Grace Holland, WFMY News 2.
Well, those vaccines could not come at a better time. The first case of a COVID-19 variant has been found in Forsyth County. Health officials say the person tested positive for the UK strand, which researchers say is more contagious. The person who has it is in isolation, and contact tracing is now being done to identify other people who may have been exposed.